All right, guys, today I'm going to talk about the best gear that I played on my channel in the year 2022. Let's get started. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video. I really appreciate it. And I'm actually really excited to share all this stuff with you guys today. This is going to be a fun one for me and hopefully for you too. So the gear that I'm going to have in this video isn't necessarily gear that came out this year. Some of it might be. It's basically all the best gear that I played on the channel this year. Whether it came out this year or not doesn't matter to me. So let's start off with the Red 7 Leviathan. Man, I love this amplifier. It's freaking amazing. It's a 2-channel amplifier. Both channels are high gain and they sound a little bit different from each other. Channel 1 has a low gain and a hot setting. As soon as you hit the hot switch, it adds a lot of gain and it sounds amazing for rhythms or leads. It's really big and fat and aggressive sounding. And channel 2 is all about the gains. You know, it's just perfect lead channel, and you can use it for a rhythm channel as well. It has MIDI, it's hand built in Italy, and it's one of the best custom amplifiers I've ever bought. I was actually kind of nervous when I bought it because when I reached out to them, I was like, well, what's your amp kind of, you know, what's the muse for your amplifier? What would you say that it's like? And he said it was like the Bogner Uberschall a little bit. It was kind of based on that. It's his take on it. And right away I got nervous. I'm like, oh, I did not like the Twin Jet at all. I had it here for a couple days and sent it right back. I couldn't stand that amplifier. But I ordered it anyways because of the conversation that I had with Luca, and he assured me that it's not exactly like the Bogner Uberschall. It's quite a bit different, but that was his inspiration for this amplifier anyways. So I trusted him in what he said, and when it finally came and I plugged into it for the first time, I immediately knew that it was much better than the Uberschall, and all my worries melted away. In fact, this amplifier is what the Uberschall wishes it could be, in my opinion. It is an amazing freaking amplifier, and stick with me because I'm going to play it for you in a minute. It really sounds and feels great, and it takes an overdrive pedal like a champ. It really does. So let's hear some riffs on the Red 7 Leviathan right now, and I'll start with channel 1 in hot mode, and I'll go over to channel 2 and do some lead riffs on it, and then I'll do a full mix for you. What a freaking beast of an amplifier. I love that amp. So again, if you're looking for a really unique sounding amplifier that has 2 amazing, very unique channels in it, and it's a boutique amplifier, it's hand built in Italy, you know, I mean, if you're looking for something that's, you know, really unique like that, I would reach out to Red 7. I can't recommend this amp enough. It's really good. So the next piece of gear is the EVH EL34-100. I love this amplifier. It's also another amazing amplifier. And then when I discovered the Easter eggs that are in it, I mean, that's when I really started liking this amplifier even more. So I have it dialed in right now to my favorite settings with the Easter eggs involved, and the red channel on this amp has never sounded or felt better. So let me do some riffs for you on the red channel right now. All right, now let's hear this fire-breathing dragon in a mix. What an amazing amplifier. Again, with the Easter eggs, I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Channel 3, the red channel, is one of the most aggressive, tight, amazing sounding channels I've ever heard on an amplifier. There's so much texture and gain and awesomeness in that channel. So if you haven't tried one of these, I highly recommend them. And if you have one, watch my Easter eggs video, because the Easter eggs apply both to the Stealth and to the EL34 version. It's got to be the 100-watt version. And man, once you tap into those Easter eggs and really fine-tune these amplifiers and boost them with a great overdrive pedal, yeah, it's just absolutely insane what these amps can do. The sound, the feel, the response, the overall tone is just incredible. There's so much texture in the red channel on both the EL34 and the Stealth versions of this amplifier, and I just love how they sound in a full mix, especially when you double track them or even quad track them. I mean, it's just so aggressive and nasty. The blue channel and the clean channel are also very good on this amplifier. On to the next piece of gear. Okay, so the next awesome piece of gear that I reviewed this year is the TC Electronic Flashback 2 delay pedal. I love this delay pedal. I love delay pedals to begin with. I use them for rhythms, cleans, and leads, and I love ones that you can get really creative with. And this pedal is the most creative, expansive, and flexible pedal that you will ever buy. Especially when you hook it up to your computer, you can dial in anything you want with this pedal. It will become any version of any delay pedal that you want, and it is incredible. So watch my video on this pedal. I'll actually put it in the description here, and there's so much that this pedal can do. I can go on and on, but I don't want to make this a 3-hour long video. So basically you get a bunch of factory presets of different types of delays that you can get with this pedal, or if you hook it up to the software in the computer, you can get any kind of delay pedal you want, even with modulation on the delay, anything you want, you know, and you get 3 preset slots on the pedal where you can put your own customized delay settings in them, and it saves them, and as soon as you hit that preset, it calls up all the settings associated with it. It's very easy to dial in on the computer and on the pedal itself. So I'll show you what my 3 favorite presets sound like on this pedal right now. So what you just heard were my 3 favorite presets that I dialed in on the pedal, and you could get as wacky or as simple as you want with them. The first one I played for you had some modulation or some chorus on the delay repeats, and it just sounds really good. So if you want, you know, to do something like where you're ending a song and you just want to have something to spice up that ending a little bit, you could do that. Or you can keep them on and have chorus without your chorus pedal being on it, because it kind of adds it in there. It weaves it in to your tone with all the repeats, and then your initial sound on the guitar is dry without chorus. So it's kind of cool how it adds it. And on the second preset, it's just plain delay with no chorus on it. And then the third one is a slight amount of chorus on it. So again, you could dial it in any way you want, and those are just the settings that I chose. And it works great for leads, rhythms, cleans, everything you want. And make sure you click the link to watch my video on it, because it really does show you a lot of cool stuff that this pedal can do. I mean, honestly, if I wanted to show you everything this pedal could do, it would probably be a 6-hour video. But at least in the video, I give you a good idea of what the pedal's capable of. Okay, next is the Boss ES8. So as you may or may not know, I used to use my HELIX as my controller, switcher, and all my effects down here, and I still think it's a great unit. But for the channel, I figured it would be a good idea to go all analog, because I want to try some pedals out too. And in order to do that, I wanted to build a whole analog pedal board, but I still needed something to control, switch my amps, and do all the routing with my pedals. And I found the Boss ES8, and man, this thing is just killer. There's really nothing it can't do. I mean, it allows my pedals to just switch on and off depending on what preset and I use and how I program it. So all my pedals are always on, and depending on what preset I use and how I programmed the Boss ES8, that pedal will be activated or not. It switches my amps via MIDI, and it routes everything, and it's just an incredible piece of gear. So if you have an analog rig and you're looking for something to control your amp and control all your pedals without tap dancing up here every time you want to make a switch, the Boss ES8 is probably the best piece of gear you can get in that category. It really is. It's very easy to program. There's lots of really good, helpful videos about it on YouTube. And once you get everything programmed, you're done. And the thing I really liked about it as well is it allows the delay trails to bleed through when you switch from a wet patch to a dry patch. So if you're coming out of a solo and you go back into your rhythm channel and you know, you're doing some crunchy riffs, it doesn't give you that awkward thing where the delays just stop. They actually spill over and kind of repeat until they melt away while you're playing your rhythm again. And it's really cool, and I'm so glad they thought of that. That's one of the other big reasons why I switched to the Boss ES8. And another piece of gear that I really enjoyed reviewing this year is the Devil's Triad pedal. They did such a great job on this pedal. It's an overdrive with a built-in boost, and it also has delay and reverb on it. I just thought, what a great concept. You know, I mean, you could buy one pedal that covers a lot of ground for you and takes up a lot less real estate on your pedal board. So if you hook it up 4-cable method to your amplifier, basically what you get is an overdrive in the front of your amp and an additional kind of boost that thickens things up and gives you a little more sustain if you want it. So you can have that as well on the front of your amp, and then it has really nice reverb and delay to go in your effects loop, and then you can dial those in according to your taste as well. And it's all in one pedal, and I just think it's really cool when companies come up with innovative ideas and out-of-the-box kind of stuff for all the pedals that are coming out today. And I think this is a really good pedal, so if you haven't checked one of those out, definitely do so. And while we're on the topic of pedals, another pedal that I really enjoyed this year was the Peppers Dirty Tree. Wow, what a freaking amazing pedal. And Tony Peppers is a great guy, sent me one to review, and I pretty much welded it to my pedal board here. It's not ever going to be taken off my pedal board. It's an amazing pedal. So if you have a really flubby amp, you know, it's just kind of flubby, gooey, and unresponsive on the low end, and you want something that's going to really tighten it up without doing a bunch of tweaking and add that really nice, aggressive top end to it, I'd say definitely go for the Peppers Dirty Tree pedal. It really does a great job. There's 2 modes on it. There's the TC mode and the DT mode. The DT mode is the Dirty Tree mode, and it's kind of like the Fortin 33. It's his take on that, so it's a little bit different, and I really like that. And then the other side, the TC mode, is another mode where you can adjust the treble, the bass, and the level as well. It's a very versatile pedal, so if the DT side doesn't really gel with your amp, just switch over to the TC side and maybe that'll be a better fit for your amplifier. I love the fact that he gave us two options. I'll give you a quick demonstration of how the pedal works right now in the DT mode. I'm going to start off playing without the pedal engaged, and then when you see me reach down and turn it on, that means I've engaged the pedal, and you'll hear what it does to the Red 7 Leviathan channel 1 in hot mode. Really adds a nice snap to the top end, a lot of aggression, and tightens up the amplifier and makes it really responsive. So if you haven't tried one of these pedals out, I highly recommend this as well. The hype is real on the Pepper's Dirty Tree. So another piece of gear on this list was a very controversial piece of gear this year. There was a lot of conjecture and a lot of people posting all kinds of crazy stuff about this particular amplifier, and you probably already know which one I'm talking about right now, and that is the EVH Iconic. I really like this amplifier, especially considering the price. So if you're looking for a more budget-friendly, full-sized amplifier that's not one of the lower wattage amplifiers out there, this amp kicks a lot of ass. It really does. It's a great amp. I really like the green channel for a rhythm channel, and the red channel's great for a lead channel, and you could use either channel for both if you want, but I mean, that's kind of what it was designed for anyways. But I mean, like I said, there's no right or wrong, you know, use what works best for you. But I really do think it's a great amplifier, so I'll play some riffs on it for you right now. That was channel 1 boosted. Let's hear it in a full mix now. I mean, you really can't beat the Iconic, especially considering the price. You know, I mean, if you're looking for a good full-size amplifier that has two great channels in it and you want to save some money, the Iconic's really the way to go. And the first channel doubles as clean or a high gain channel. So depending on your needs, that channel will do either or for you. And I'm really glad that all the conjecture and the stupidity kind of faded away on this amplifier. I think that enough of them got released into the public and enough reviewers like myself and many others reviewed them and were honest about them and said, yeah, this amplifier is really good, especially considering the price. So go get one. I mean, seriously, name a better amplifier for the same price as the Iconic right now. I know it's subjective, but I would say that the Iconic in its price range should be at least in the top 3. All right, so the next piece of gear that I actually use every single day is the Spark. I have the 40-watt version and I love it. I have it upstairs in my living room and it's actually making me a better guitar player because I can actually, with the app, put a metronome through it and practice to that often, and I'm starting to do that more and more now because it's easy and I'm actually finding it kind of fun and challenging at the same time. And I'm not one to practice to a metronome. For those of you who know me, you know I hate doing that, but for the last couple of weeks I've really enjoyed doing that, and it's actually making me a much better and tighter guitar player. So because of the Spark, I'm actually becoming better. I mean, who knew a product that only costed a couple $100 would actually make me better, right? I mean, everybody's always thinking, oh, buy the best gear and buy all the tens of thousands of dollars worth of high-end stuff and you'll be a better guitar player. Well, a product like the Spark that only costs a couple $100 just proved that theory wrong. I honestly think that every guitar player should own a Spark. I really do, because it's just so handy. It sounds great, the feel is really good, and it's just a great practice, travel, green room, warm-up type amplifier. And because I could play all my backing tracks through it via Bluetooth, I could practice to all my tracks that I use on my channel every day. So I get up every day, grab a cup of coffee, sit down with my Spark, fire it up, play some metronome stuff, and then I practice all my mixes. And, well, I'm lying, I don't practice them every day like I should, but I'm going to start working on that. But I'm able to do that. I'm able to practice all my mixes and the metronome stuff every day as often and as much as I want, and it's just such a handy tool that makes practicing easy, efficient, convenient, and fun. And I mean that when I say that. Every guitar player should have one. It's one of the best practice tools out there. And it sounds and feels good enough to practice through where you're not going to be feeling like, oh, I'll slum it and plug into my stupid Spark and yeah, I wish I was playing my amp right now, you know, but I'll just play through this piece of crap. No, it's not like that at all. It's a really good piece of gear for practicing. Should you use it live? No, it's not what it's intended for. I mean, you're not going to plug in a Spark on stage and run the headphone out to the front of house. Could you? Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, you can use a pod bean as well, but I mean, they're not intended for that. They're intended for practicing. So if you use it for what it was built for, I think you're really going to enjoy it. And I will continue to use mine every single day until that thing falls apart, which is going to be a long time from now. So go get one. They're amazing. So the last piece of gear I'm going to talk about in this video is the Schecter Banshee Mach 7. I love this guitar. So let me switch over to it right now. I'll play some riffs on it for you and show you what the Sustainiac pickup does, and then we'll call it a day. So I was looking for another guitar because I play all these Ernie Ball, Music Man, Majesty, Monarchy series guitars, and they're pretty expensive, and I wanted to get something that was a little more middle of the road so I could test gear out with that, and I wanted to see how a guitar at this price range compared to mine. So Chris Sobak, one of my subscribers and friends here, recommended the Banshee Mach 7, and I've never played a Sustainiac pickup before either, and I wanted to try one of those. So this guitar had a lot of the stuff that I was looking for. A good price point and a good build, and it looks nice. I mean, it's a freaking kick-ass looking guitar. And it also has the Sustainiac, so I wanted to check it out. And I really do like this guitar. Now, admittedly, I do need to get this set up. The action's a little too high for me, and it's kind of been like that since day one. And I'm going to take it into Scott over at Motor City Guitar and have him set it up for me and lower the action. So I'm going to get that done, and after that, this will be a perfect guitar. I'm actually using it on my album for certain parts of solos because of the Sustainiac pickup and that cool thing that it does. So let me just show you what it sounds like now. I'll plug it into my Red 7. Why not? I'll just plug it into that and play some riffs through it for you. Yeah, it's a really nice guitar, and I love the Lundgren pickups in it. They're really thick and beefy sounding, and they're voiced very well. I really like how they're voiced. I got a different Schecter before I got this one. It was the C7 Elite, and I hated the Fishman Fluence pickups in it, and I returned it and exchanged it for this one. And I very much preferred this guitar over the C7 Elite for a bunch of reasons, mainly the pickups. But when you consider that this guitar also has the Sustainiac pickup, I mean, it really is a nice added bonus. Let me play something real quick for you right now using the Sustainiac and show you what it sounds like. Pretty damn cool, right? I mean, this guitar really does add a lot of spice to your solos, and it sounds and plays very well. So, I mean, if you're looking for kind of a mid-range price guitar that's got some extra little tricks in the, in its back pocket, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend. And like I said, I mean, I just got to get this set up a little bit better for me. It's no fault of Schecter or anybody else. Everybody has different tastes, but I'm going to take it into Scott, get the action lowered. I like the action super low because I can use all the help I can get regarding, helping me play guitar properly. So having the action lowered is definitely something I got to do. But anyways, consider getting one of these. They are really good, and I definitely highly recommend it. So anytime someone comes to me and says, yeah, I'm looking for a mid-range guitar, price rise and something with some cool features, I definitely recommend this to them. And it's a neck-through design. I mean, neck-through design at that price point is very hard to find. So a lot of good reasons to buy this guitar. So check them out. And if you do have one, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Well, guys, that about wraps this video up. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, comment below on what was your favorite thing that you bought or interacted with this year. And maybe what was your favorite thing that I reviewed on the channel. I'd like to hear that from you. Well, to all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, what the hell's the matter with you? Please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with a new episode. Well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.